Hello, everyone.
Hey guys,
Welcome
welcome
back.
back to ForWhy. Oh, that was a croak.
It's me, Julie.
It's the me, and I'm Shania. Hi,
And we are in bed
we are
once
in bed
again.
again. Once again, we really are giving 110% to our podcast. We're just comfortable. Yeah,
Um, so this week, no, today we are talking about um a very controversial music video that just dropped.
yeah. Lil Nas X basically it dropped. Very
Montero,
Montero, call me by your name.
inspired by the movie Call Me by Your Name.
Inspired by a lot of things, I'm assuming, but because of that film, which is high key about pedophilia, but we move.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah,
film, but well,
yeah. It was a cute film, but
so
sus.
I don't know if it's everywhere, but at least in America, the Republicans are mad. They're
Everyone's
mad.
mad. Quite a lot of people are mad. People are mad here too in the UK.
Oh yeah, I've not seen that. People are mad. The man is giving a lap dance to Satan. People are upset.
Yeah. So Lil Nas X dropped a song, and it's basically if you haven't seen it or heard it, go listen to it. Go watch it. Personally, I don't actually like the song. Like,
No, that's
it's
what I
not for
said.
me.
Like the
Like,
video
it's
is kind of cool, but the song is not that good.
yeah, the songs are like great. Like, but neither was Old Town Road. I just don't think I'm a big Little Nas X fan.
I
Personally.
stand him and what he like wears,
Yeah,
like the outfits he brings to like red carpets because it's like a fashion risk.
yeah. I like
So
what he
yeah,
stands for and how he pushes people to be uncomfortable in a good, progressive way
yeah.
for the community. But
So anyway,
I
if
don't
you
know.
have not seen the video,
Yeah,
go
go
look
watch
it up
it.
on YouTube.
It's
Um,
decent. It's
ex-
basically just have religious themes of like,
experience it.
yeah,
Yeah, he's basically in the Garden of Eden at
yeah.
first, and then the snake
It's
makes
him.
out with him.
Yeah, like has sex or something,
Yeah,
right?
so no, all characters are played by him, so it's very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like metaphorical or because of COVID. Like I don't know if that was like actually on purpose or he was like, we're in a panoramic. I'm gonna just do this on my own.
Probably a bit of both.
Maybe, maybe. But like maybe it's like symbolic that he's innocent and he's also the temptress of like
Yeah. So he makes out with the
action.
snake, like the bad snake from the Bible. Like, if you don't know the Bible story, then I'm sorry, like, read up on it. I'm not going to explain it right here, right now. Um, so he gives into temptation, and then hell opens up and he slides down the stripper pole into hell. And I've never related more to something in my life.
Really?
I'm like, this is
Fair.
everything. I was like,
Was
wow.
like Satan get thee behind. Oh dear. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not joking, but also I'm joking.
But if there's a way to hell, then it better be a stripper pole.
Do you think so? Do you think that would be the route? I feel like
I
a
mean,
stripper
it
pole is more
probably
fun.
should be something horrible, but not
You
in
want
my
something fun?
reality.
I want like a slippy slide type of thing. Like it's like immediate and fast, but
Yeah,
also
they're
really
both too
fun.
nice for it to be hell.
Oh, 100%. But if we're talking about fun, a stripper pole would hurt my body.
Mm.
That
But
looks like
also, he's wearing
a.
like the biggest heels while he's stripping down,
Can we
while
just
he's
talk?
sliding down.
Do you know what I mean? But like, can we just talk about he can wear those heels effortlessly and just phenomenally, and I can't even walk
He
in
looked
flat.
more elegant in that video than I will ever
Ever
do.
do in my life? Like, wow, wow.
So then he lands in hell.
Yep. Before that, he was on trial. Like they were walking, and he was
Oh
wearing
yeah, 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 yeah. He
colorful
was on.
wigs and stuff, and
Yeah, he
everyone
was on
was mad.
trial if he could go up or down.
Yeah. And then he went up, and then he was like, "Nah, fuck this," and I went down or something. And he was on the stripper pole, inspired by FK Twigs' Telephone, by the way.
Me stan.
That was a thing as well. Though he was like, they were like, "Oh, you didn't give FK Twigs credit," and he didn't know that's where his creative team got that from.
See, that's what I mean. Like the artist is always like the one that gets blamed, but they're not the only ones making the decision. Like it's a whole PR team, creative
It's a
team,
whole thing.
manager and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, he credited her. Da, 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 they end up in hell, and then he meets Satan, who also is played by himself.
Yeah, but he looks like there's a lot of CGI makeup going on. So
100%.
yeah.
But it's also played by himself, you can
Satan
tell.
is sitting there on his throne, and
Being all
then
moody and grumpy, and then Lil Nas X gives him a little
spicy lap dance.
spicy dance. He said, "Tonight I'm gonna dance for you," and he did.
I
He
don't
did that.
know if I'm just like so used to sexual things being portrayed in the media that this was not that crazy to me, but this was not that crazy to me.
Um, it that and like it's not that serious.
The
I
dance was
mean,
not so like his lap dance was like
he just did a little 1-2 grind and called it a day. Like
yeah.
he just
It
didn't. He
wasn't
didn't
like
do
a
too
Nicki
much.
Minaj video. I've seen definitely more
No,
in
Nicki Minaj twerked in a bowl of cereal. Like I don't understand what people were
I
upset
think
about.
it's the lap dance on Satan that was the problem.
Oh my god, on himself that he's dressed up as this devil.
But what I'm thinking, like I've heard this comment before.
Mm,
Christians are so upset about this, but
yeah,
is this not everything they condemn anyway? So this is like just a what would be going on in hell anyway? Because they say like gay people go to hell,
yeah,
and if you're like overly sexual, you go to hell.
yeah.
And like, so is this not just accurate?
Is this not what you told them that's gonna happen to them if they keep doing these things?
So
And
why are you mad?
this is what they're doing. It's the fact that he's accepting the devil. He sold his soul to the devil, to the Antichrist, to Lucifer. I don't understand how that was what they got from that, but that's what they think. And they think their children are gonna watch that and be influenced to sell their soul to the devil. They think they're gonna start slaughtering goats and stuff.
The joke
And
is when you go read up on the Church of Satanism.
that's Satanism.
Yeah, if you
Satanism.
go read up on their actual like what their rules and like
Mm-hmm.
commandments are, if that's what they call them, it's all about equality, and
Yeah.
it's very confusing. I'm like, why do you have such good morals compared to the literally Christian church?
The Bible.
So
T.
controversial.
So, are you religious, Julie? If
No.
they haven't gathered that from this conversation so far,
No.
but you grew up religious.
Um, I got baptized and I had my little communion. I don't know what if that's the right word.
Yeah.
So communion's like when you're like 9, 10.
Mm,
So you kind of do it in Luxembourg because you get loads of presents. Like not one child is like, oh yay, I'm getting my step closer to becoming a member, like a real member of this church. It's more
mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna get presents after this.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, but then I was like, I'm atheist, and I told my mom, and she was kind of like upset. And I was like, I do not want to support it. Basically, I always thought it was stupid. Like, I sat there, and the pastor was like, Jesus is in us and blah, and God is everywhere. And I'm like, this is so stupid. And I was like, I need to not laugh. And then that already, I was like, I kind of don't believe it. But then the
Yeah.
church is so, like, they keep so much money.
Yeah.
The Vatican has so much money. And then they have the guts to make people pay money when we go to church. Like, and there's often poor and like unfortunate people going to church because they are like, it's their last hope.
Yeah.
And then you're extorting them for money.
Yeah.
Okay, choices. And then you touch little boys. It's over for me.
Sorry,
It's
it's
over
not
for
funny
me
that you think touch your voice. It's just funny that the way you just dropped that in.
because
I was
everyone
not
knows.
expecting that.
Why would
Yeah,
I
they do
be
touch little boys. That's really bad.
Catholic? Like, who? How can you stand and be like, I'm a proud Catholic when literally your church is based on pedophilia because you're not allowing your pastors to have a wife?
100%.
And then the church came out now saying, no, we still can't say that gay marriage is okay because it's condemned in the Bible. You know what's also condemned in the Bible? Eating dates. Okay? And we are eating dates all the time, most of people. What are you
I don't
trying to
eat
say?
dates.
I'm just so, like, I hate the church. I think when people are just like, they believe in something more powerful like God and they just go on about their day being like, knowing that Like I think it helps
Um,
people to everyday life knowing there's something more powerful that they can understand and there's heaven and
yeah,
hell. I get that, but the whole church
it's
is
the
a no for
institution
me.
that needs to die. Yeah. To be honest, okay, so my whole religious journey is a bit complicated because I grew up going to two Christian schools, primary and
Hmm.
secondary. I was christened. My mum used to send me to church with my auntie because my mum's religious, but she's not religious enough to go to
But are
church.
you Protestant then, or
Yeah,
like, yeah?
Protestant. And so we used to go to church. And then I just got to a point where I was like, this actually isn't for me. Like, not in the mad, like, I was a Christian faith leader as well. Like, I was like the
Oh
whole
my God, I
shebangs.
was what do you call them in the that help in the church?
I don't know
English. Like
about this.
when we have masses, there's always like
Yeah.
young people helping the pastor go like do certain stuff, like bringing
Yeah,
him a book
yeah, yeah.
or bringing him the Grail or bringing him,
I don't know what it's called, but I was basically one of those two.
I was one of those for like a half a year,
I was there for like 2 years. I
but
did
more to
like,
hang out with my friends than anything else. So
oh, me too. Like me and this girl, we used to just like chill in like the little corners that nobody else was because we used to do the candles and stuff. So we had to wait for our cue. And we would just talk the entire time. Nobody could hear us. It was just fun.
hmm
It was fun times. And we just got walk around instead of just sitting in church, just staring like everybody else did.
yeah.
The best part about going to a Christian school though is the music. Like gospel music is actually the shit. Like I always say that with my whole chest, especially when you harmonize. No, no, you have to be there. You have to be there. Don't give me that
No, I'm
face.
just
You have
saying,
to be
I know it's fun for you, but me as a whole white person, I'm like, have you heard the songs they sing
there.
in
Okay.
Catholic churches?
Oh yeah, so it's a bit like boring. Is No, I won't always have
It's
tempo.
beyond boring. It's like, what is going on?
I was
I've,
always had tempo. We always
I
harmonized.
understand
It was
gospel is
beautiful.
fun. Like I've
That
seen
was
Sister
great.
Act. That's fun. That's my only
You're
reference. Isn't that
fired.
so sad? No,
Um,
Sister Act and then like Kanye West Church.
no, no, no. I'm
Have
gonna
you
send
seen
you.
that? Sorry, sorry. Kanye
I'm gonna
West
send you
like
some like
Sunday
Kirk Franklin.
services.
No, that's a cult. Well,
It
church
is
is
a
a cult.
literal cult, but it's kind of cool that they like have a huge choir and stuff.
100%. It's kind of beautiful, but
No, I'm just saying that sounds way more fun already. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. But no, just in general, like I'm gonna send you some Kirk Franklin. Some. Oh my god,
Imagine me
so
just sitting
sorry.
here vibing to gossip, gospel.
Gospel. No, like honestly, it's great. Like
No,
you
but
can
I'm
enjoy
yeah,
it.
I get you. It makes it already more fun than Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Like my like European church.
Fair. I respect that. That sounds really dull.
It
Like,
is super dull, and then there's this old white man, like barely
yeah,
living still, preaching something weird that you don't even understand, and then everyone goes, I don't know, I just don't like the vibe of a church.
fair. Do you know what? I respect that.
But again, I understand when people are spiritual, like, and when they want to believe in something, like, you know, I
Mm,
understand the concept of wanting to have a belief
yeah.
because it can be nice and can help you through dark times.
1 second, Julie. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh,
There's someone banging on my door, and they can
oh,
tell I'm doing something, and they're still doing it. What is it?
oh,
I'm doing my podcast. I can't do that right now.
she is
I'm
busy.
doing something right now. Like, why did she tell you to take it? Just close the door, please. Thank you. Sorry. So my mum told them to get her door key because everything in my house is locked
Oh my God.
because of the children. And my mum knows I'm doing a whole podcast that you can't press pause on a podcast. But this lady, it's fine. It's okay. Proceed. Let's continue.
It's okay. See, this is like we keeping it real.
I'm keeping it real. I am so sorry. Just, yeah.
No, what I was
Yeah.
yeah, I just yeah, the whole I get having a belief, but the whole system of a church, I'm not about it. And if you go back in time, there's been so many wars fought just on different religions, and I'm like,
It's
why?
like anti-productive to the way the world moves. Like, okay, so growing up Christian church, all that, being like forced to go to church, all that. Cool. I've always had a sense of presence of God, like, and not just because of what's been fed into me, just from experiences. I do believe there is something bigger than what I am, and there's a beauty to the world that is uncomprehensible, that I don't believe is just science. Like, I genuinely believe is something that extends beyond
Yeah.
what we understand. So that's cool. I also believe Jesus is the Son of God, but that's also because of what I inherently grew up with.
Yeah.
So if you was to classify me, then cool, I'd be a Christian, but also not really. Like, I just couldn't, like, somebody said in a song, I think it was Erica Badu, is like the intellects are the ones who don't believe in God but fear him the same way. Like, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I have the sense to know that this God that is written multiple times in multiple variations
Mm-hmm.
with its many flaws and many like criticisms, yet
Mm-hmm.
hopes. It's just things to set in place for people to behave themselves. Like I
Honestly, it's
it's
just a
just
way to control
it's
people.
just a way to
Let's be
control
honest.
people. It was built before law and order existed.
It
So
was like, but like
way to
when you go
present the
back and
rules.
go like mythologies, like
Yeah.
Greek mythology and or Chinese or Norse or like that's or um what are Incas or Aztec, like the ones in
Mm,
America. They're all like the mythologies that was literally religions.
yeah.
Yeah, I know we call them mythology now, but they're religions, and it was like they were trying to explain the world. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They were explaining that they're trying to explain why the sun rises. So there was a god carrying the sun
Yeah.
and stuff. And I feel like their way of having like a god for each thing that does something is
Mm,
a bit nicer. Like also like like Hindi is still like that, where each
yeah.
god
Yeah.
has it makes it less of like a this one figure that controls everything, you know?
Then yeah. And it's just like it's less daunting than nothing. Like
Yeah.
nothingness is so threatening rather
Yeah.
than having something that you could just actually set in place.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have rules, you didn't have jails like that before, so you set a god-fearing thing that people can't see to
Mhm.
make sure people did things in the way that you wanted them to do them. Plus the Bible, the recent version, is written by a mad white man. Like why would I want to just feed into white supremacy by
Can you
a literal
imagine?
mad king? Like I can't see myself just abiding by a set of rules that applies that I should also be oppressed. You know, like I just couldn't
How can I
do that.
take something seriously that literally says that men are not supposed to lie with men or something, or
That's not even
women?
that though. You know, that's
There's
just
like some part where it's I don't know, whatever, or like something that says like women are supposed to or men are supposed to be superior or whatnot. Like there's many weird parts in the
yeah,
Bible that make no literal sense. Like you can't use that in modern day life anymore.
exactly.
How are we taking something that's been written like in I don't know when, like
Yeah,
or that happened supposedly 2000 years ago?
do you know what I mean? But it's also that the transcript that people use against gay people isn't even about gay people. It's about pedophilia. It's a mistranslation. So um,
Yeah,
that's
that's
that.
what my mom always said. The Bible can be interpreted in many ways, and the churches has
Mm.
taken often a very literal sense, and that made it very bad for some people. Like,
It's bad for society. Like it's bad for the minorities that they want to control. Like like you said, why would I? It literally tells you to suppress like oppress women. Women should be beneath men. My uncle literally sat down with me, had a whole conversation with me. He's Ghanaian. He's Pentecostal. Goes to Pentecostal church. And he sat down with me and said, I was talking to him about some trouble I was having
hmm
with relationships. And he was like, well, if he wasn't so argumentative and you just let the man be the man and lead, he would therefore understand where he's going wrong and should have known that he should have listened to you. So let a man talk to you the way he wants to talk to you and you should just submit to him. And then he'll figure out, oh, maybe I should listen to my wife and respect her more to then let her opinion be valid. That's what he dead ass said to me. And I said, wow. Wow,
right.
like I said, cool, that's your God, not mine. I can't do that. Sorry. I cannot. I
See, that's what I
cannot.
mean. It just doesn't apply.
It
with
doesn't apply to me. Okay.
current day.
It's not even just current day. It's just like, why do you think that's okay for you to do? And I see my auntie, I see her. I would love that woman. I respect her, but I see how the way she values him on such a high pedestal, even the way you would worship a god. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very idealistic. Like it's very like, wow, like this man is my everything, he's my husband. And it's like, I can't do that. Like you put
No,
him first before your even your mum. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
it's very much head of the family vibes.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I can't fathom. I'm
So
not saying
like,
religion
do
is ridiculous. I'm just saying that it's just not that great. And I don't understand why people would continue to believe that it's this transformative thing that will
so
protect
you think are you religious then or not? What do you would you if you had to fill out a survey, what would you put yourself as?
is that I would put myself as a Christian just purely because I believe that Jesus is the Son of God. I have that
Mm-hmm.
just embedded in my heart. Like when I talk and I pray, because I do praise
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, not all the time. I do talk to God as well as Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I think
I
you're just
believe
like
I believe in
spiritual and
some elements.
religious, but you're not like really.
I
I
just don't
don't.
believe in the Bible.
Yeah.
Like I
Or the
believe
church.
or the church. Like I would never take my children to church. I just won't happen.
I'm so excited for it to be dying out.
Same.
Like wow. And
Cause like,
also, churches don't have to pay taxes, and I'm angry. Sorry.
you know what I mean? Like what the hell? It's a way to just approach people and just and get money. They're all cults. Every religion's a cult. Like it's just
Literally.
really overwhelming. I've sat into churches sometimes and I'm like, wow, this doesn't feel right. Like it doesn't sit correctly on my soul. And I'm like, but why do I feel like that? And it just feels wrong. Cause like some of the things they were saying, it just was like that doesn't sound correct.
I just want to say, if you're a religious person listening, no shade to you. I'm happy
No
you have found
shade.
peace with
Do you know what I
your
mean?
religion and you are comfortable in participating in whatever.
In all of that, but
But I think
yeah,
everyone has to agree how bad certain religions, not even like, okay, me and Shania can talk about Christianity because that's personally how we grew up.
yeah,
But like, even Islam or Judaism
Judaism,
or anything, they all have their bad like sides to it.
100%.
And I think
Every
everyone should be aware of it, you know?
a religion can be beautiful. Like, don't
Yeah.
get it twisted. Like, it can be such a beautiful thing. Like, it does teach you how to be somewhat of a good person, and when you can recognize the goodness within it and
Mm-hmm.
ignore the oppressions, like it is a very beautiful thing to recognize.
Yeah.
And like every story, every fiction comes from somewhere. So as much as the Bible might not be literal and it might be like a
It's
metaphorical,
definitely not literal.
it's definitely not literal and it's a metaphorical sense. It all derives from somewhere. Like it had to be seen from something to come
Yeah.
from somewhere. It can't all just be an
Yeah.
imagination. So I understand in that regards. Like that's why I don't think it's complete BS. I just
It's probably
don't
loads of
agree with it.
metaphors and loads of allegories or something.
Mm.
But
It
again,
has
this
been
was
somewhere.
written, or like, who knows even when it was written? Like the first, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like,
Like
it's been told for so many years.
yeah,
It's time to move on, in my
it's a lot
humble
of
opinion.
fables. It's just if you're gonna move on in the correct way. No one's telling you how to think or feel. Nobody says
Yeah.
abolish religion because that's ridiculous. It's just let's not be like oppressive,
There's so
Like
many
leave
problems
Lil
though
Nas
with
X
the
alone.
churches. I wish people would just have beliefs, but then there wouldn't be like such a system like the church in place that would control everything. It's just so wrong. When you
Mhm.
see like in America, there's loads of like um churches that where the leader of the church has like private jets and like a big ass house because they take it all from, what do you
But
call the money that you give in church?
I don't know.
It has a special name.
It does have a special name. This is
But you know
rude.
what I mean? So they just
This is how long I haven't been to church. Wow.
like you. And usually, yeah, again, the people that go are like they have illnesses, so they think like going to church is gonna help them, or
Mm,
they are in an unfortunate place, and then they go there and give their last money because these leader of the church are saying, if you give this money, then I'm gonna put in a good word for you.
Yeah.
And then they just buy themselves a huge ass house. And I'm like, this is so wrong.
It's so wrong. Like the institution, it's just like the institution that's been formalized for most things in this world. It's just so wrong. Like it's just all needs to just be taken down and reestablished into something better than what it is, because it's just so everything. Like even when we're talking about Meghan Markle, like there's even the royal family institution, loads of institutions just needs to just
Yeah.
die. Like just the police, everything needs to just
But we do have to say
burn.
that churches like Shania and I and a couple of other people went on a walk
Yeah,
yesterday, and we went into a church, and me and Shania was just saying churches are always like so beautifully built usually. And
beautiful.
we have to say, like, these of course were built to keep people in place and have like places of worship, and
Mm,
they were often used to signify power of a city
yeah,
or of a country, like the higher the church, the bigger the church, blah blah blah.
yeah.
But that is some beautiful architecture we have now, which is nice.
It is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like especially the glass windows, like
Yeah.
they are stunning. Churches, they make me see. It's not the church itself; it's the people within it and what they say makes me uncomfortable, rather
Yeah.
than the building. Like I
The
feel like
institution of it.
yeah, the building is beautiful. I feel like when
It's kind of sad.
it's really sad. It
And
plays.
then,
Mm,
oh my God, I need to, this whole Little Nas X thing reminded me when um there was like this controversy about Madonna. Like we weren't born there yet, but it's
yeah,
reminding me of it when she had like a black guy playing Jesus,
yeah.
and people were like freaking out.
Jesus isn't
And
black.
then literally Jesus was from Israel. He would definitely not be white. Like he wouldn't be,
Be pale white with blonde hair and blue eyes.
yeah,
Like,
he wouldn't be dark
it
skinned, but
makes
he'd
sense.
definitely be like tanned.
Yeah, it would just be Middle Eastern again. Like, it's just I don't understand people. That's the whole thing. Like, idolize the whole. Oh my God! Sorry, the whole Christianity is built on a white man's
And he
ideal
wasn't even white.
world.
He definitely wasn't white
He wasn't white. Oh my God! And he wasn't ripped. Like, why does Jesus have a six pack? I don't understand. He
because the
was
man never ate.
he was famished. He was skinny. He was mager. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I
How are you
guess
trying to
because it's always the image of him hanging on the cross, and
Julie, they
what
tried to sexualize Jesus. Imagine.
he always has a six. It's kind of like, when Hitler did this Aryan type where it's like a huge built man, blonde hair, blue eyes, like a
Yeah.
perfect. Do you think it's like Jesus is the, like, look at him all with a six pack and luscious hair and blue eyes?
Yeah. Like, oh my God. That
Like who knows? Maybe he was like crippled.
but like if Jesus was butters, nobody would follow him. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's
Do you think he was just a hot guy in his day and age, and people were
probably
just like, I want to either like I want to be him or I want to be
be
with
with
him?
him. Yeah. But he's like, no, I'm the son of God. I wouldn't do that. Do you get it? So
Oh my God, we are going straight to hell after this.
I am not. I'm going to repent and praying to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for him to save me. And
Actually, I would not say I'm atheist. I think I would say I'm agnostic. I usually say that, but people don't know what it is. It's basically saying I, as a little human that I am, cannot prove that there is or is not a God. You
mhm,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I don't know if there
I'll
is
take
one, but I
that.
also don't know if there's no one. So I'm just living my life
That
without any belief.
like I feel like a lot of people are that nowadays anyway. They aren't completely atheists and they're not completely religious either. There's only a few people I meet now who are like very religious, like our
Mm.
age, who are very religious.
I
And
meet a
most
lot of
people
people
are
our age that are like, they find their own kind of sense of spirituality and belief.
yeah,
And I think that's nice. And they
that's
don't
great.
go, like we said, they don't really go to church because we're like, what has the church ever done for us, honestly?
Yeah,
So it's more
honestly,
about the belief, which I think I can definitely more agree with that,
understand. Yeah,
you know?
like I've found myself in really bad situations where the only thing that could get me through it is praying, and so I understand that. Like I get
Hmm.
the strength
Same.
comes from somewhere, so it's like
Yeah.
I get it. I just couldn't fathom you. you preaching the Bible to me. Like, stop it. Stop that. Like, I get.
Oh my God. So on Christmas,
Mm,
so Christmas break, we always drive to my family in Germany.
yeah.
And there, so my cousins, my two younger cousins, they were the people that help in the church. Like they were for a bit longer. So they would always be a part, what's it called? Novella TV? No, what's it called? No, the play
Telenovela.
that you do on on Christmas Eve, like
Just
how
a
Jesus
telenovela.
was born. What's it called?
No,
Novel? No.
no, a novelty.
Nativity?
Nativity. Yeah,
Okay.
native
You
words.
know what I mean.
Yeah,
So they
I
would
know
always
what we're
participate
talking
in that
about.
and everything.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, so this church is big, but it's Christmas Eve. And I feel like Germany might still be a bit more religious than other countries, at least where we were.
Yeah.
So we had to get there sometimes 2 hours earlier to get a good seat for a church on Christmas Eve. And I already was like, I don't believe in this. I
Mm,
don't want to sit there. I don't want to be there.
yeah.
And then the whole Christmas Eve mass took 2 hours. And I was like, I am so like me spending 4 hours of my life each year on this and something I do not believe in is so ridiculous. So
Mm,
sometimes me and my mom would get, oops, we drove off too late, or oh no, there was traffic, and so we were a bit too late. But
yeah.
now, so it is nice to see. Like, well, my cousins don't do it anymore, which I'm very grateful for, I guess. But my uncle is also so my uncle that married in, so yeah, not blood related to me, but
Yeah.
amazing. He also doesn't believe. So when they do the thing with where you get the little chip,
Mm,
we don't get
the
up
body
and
of
get it.
Christ.
The little cracker, the little whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Body of
So,
Christ meant to
yeah.
be. Yeah.
So we don't get up and get the piece because how hypocritical would that be if we're
They
both
can
like we
be
don't?
though.
Yeah,
They taste of absolutely nothing, but they're fantastic to get.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, so it's like I participate, or me and my uncle, we're there for the support of like my cousins, his kids
Mm,
and stuff. But actually, we just sit there and we're like, we don't believe any of this. And sometimes the pastor says stuff where I have to hold back a laugh.
honestly.
But yeah, but the nice part is the last. So you sing Christmas songs,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of nice. And the last one, they turn off all the lights and everyone turns on a candle.
Oh, that's cute.
And then you sing Silent Night. And that's the only part I like.
That is so sweet.
And then my grandma sings it off key and it's amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
the only part, but
cute.
that's also the last song. And after this you can go home. So maybe that's why I like it.
Fair. No, honestly, the best part of church is like the harmonious moments, not just within singing. It's just like
Hmm.
you feel a synchronized presence with each other of
I
like,
think, yeah, the community sense. Yeah.
yeah, like it's just not even of godliness, but like
Hmm.
purity and like innocence. It's just like so nice and like a safe feeling. That also is a sense of like free. It's very freeing.
Hmm.
I think that's why I really enjoy listening to choirs. Like it's just
Hmm.
very, I don't know. It's like an out of body experience. Like in
Hmm.
school, when we used to do a lot of like performances and like just even just sitting there singing. Even when I was younger and little, we used to do like rounds.
Hmm.
So one like 1 year group would sing this one, and then another one would
Oh,
sing
that's
this
kind of sweet.
one,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and it was like 6 year groups. So then it would all come together, and it would all just like sound really
Yeah.
nice. And it was always an out of body experience for me. I don't know why. It just like placed me out of it, and it was just
Hmm.
like I don't know. It's just freeing, and I think that's where my sense of
Yeah.
spirituality comes from.
I feel like if religion continues, it's because, or like, I mean, churches, it's
Mhm.
because people get this sense of community from it,
Yeah.
which is a nice part. Like
It's so nice.
that, yeah, that
Mm,
must be the only nice part about churches. Because now that I think about it, I have this vegan restaurant that I really like in London,
mhm.
and we ordered that because they had like a Valentine's meal.
Okay.
So, but you had to go pick it up. So we went to pick it up,
Mhm.
and actually, the restaurant is attached to a church. And I was like, a vegan restaurant attached to a church is already, I was like, it's kind of cool. Like, this is
Yeah.
kind of like, like it fits London. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the vegan restaurant, they also hire, I think, people with disabilities to get them a job, and they're like
that's cute.
not for profit, I think. So they make enough to like work, like to pay everything,
Mm,
but it's not made to make a huge profit from everything, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And the church also had a rainbow and stuff. So I think it was a really modern, like open church. Like they were for LGBT and stuff.
Yeah,
And I was like, wow, I love that.
progressive. We love
Yeah.
it. I
See,
just,
that's I can like
yeah,
that I
get
can be like,
behind.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
just hate
yeah,
judgmental people. Like, it's just sad that the most peaceful and meant to be the most accepting religions, especially Christianity is meant to be like the modern religion. You know what I mean? Like, out of all of them,
jokes.
they're meant to be like, oh yeah, no, we're like the chiller ones.
I
We're the
know, but
chill
then Buddhist is
guys.
really the chillest one.
Yeah, they are. It is. But like Christianity is like, oh no, like out of like the Western religions,
Yeah, I
they're meant to
know.
be like, oh, we're the ones with the least restrictions and stuff. We're cool. We're the cool guys. And then they be the most judgmental ever. Like
I
I
mean,
don't understand.
Protestant church is a bit better than Catholic church in the sense where at least the pastors can have a wife.
But they're still so judgmental.
I
Like,
know, but
okay.
yeah. But
Like
when you think about it, it's so old, all the like no.
it's just annoying. Like I imagine I color waxed my hair, and my auntie was like, "Yeah, just remember Jesus loves you." And I'm like, "What the hell? Like, what has that got to do with
It's
anything?
like this, yeah, Jesus or God made you that way, so you should
You should just accept
love
it.
what he gave you. But
Like, don't get a piercing, don't get a tattoo, like, But like, what? No, I can do what like I want. It's the body that God gave me with my free will. Like, I can do what I want.
what do you think about the whole like God meant for this to like, you know how some people are think that God has a plan for everything and everyone, and
Mm,
everything that we're experiencing is his
doing.
doing. Like, what do you think about that?
All right. So when I was younger, I completely agreed with that, like 100%.
Hmm.
Like, not even just from a religious standpoint, just to me, like that's how it was a way of knowing that He has a plan for me. Things will get better.
Hmm.
I believe there is a route to take. It's whether I choose to take it or not. There's a route laid out for me
Hmm.
by him.
Hmm.
It's just whether I make the decisions to follow that route, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. Like if
Hmm.
I continue to do what I believe in my heart and my soul is moralistically right, then it will follow the correct path where I need to go to in life.
Hmm.
But also like my friend died when I was 10,
Hmm.
and it wasn't a thing that I was like incomprehensible to why a god would take her away from
Yeah.
me so young. It was more like, well, I believe that was the thing that needed to happen for her in her life. Like it's like a something could have happened to her if she kept on living. She is safe. God loves his children. She is with her dad. Like it wasn't a thing of like, how could this horrible man do this to a child?
Hmm. I guess it's a nice thing to think about it, and that makes more sense of life, and it gives more meaning to life, and I think
Mm,
that calms people.
yeah, that's what I mean by that.
But it's like,
What do you think? No?
if God gave us this pandemic, I'm gonna find him,
but
and we're gonna have to talk.
but look at the benefits of some of it
If
though.
God made Brexit happen, we're gonna have to talk.
No, that was God who gave
God
us the
made
free will
Trump
for
and
that.
Boris Johnson be leaders of big nations.
That was a whole
We
human
have to
corruption and
talk.
free will,
We gotta
No,
talk. I just
that was just human corruption and free will. The pandemic though, I don't know. Don't you think that the environment has gotten like more cleaner and healthier?
yeah, but that was definitely Mother Nature. That was not a God.
Yeah, but like if God made the pandemic and then made us all stay inside to help us survive longer on this earth.
It was good for a few
Yeah.
months, but it's good. Like, can it stop now? Thanks.
No, I feel like I can breathe outside. I feel like my body's not being attacked by toxins all the time.
Okay, but I feel like I'm being attacked by right
Being
wing
bad.
politicians everywhere. So
Yeah, but that's also politicians being dumb. I feel like that's not even God. That's
God
just
made them.
not necessarily.
Oh my God.
I mean, he did,
You could-
but he made
Okay, if you think about it that way, then you can excuse everything because you can be like, God had a way for them, but they just didn't go.
no 100%. But that's why God give us free will.
Yeah, okay, I guess so.
Like they free willingly became
It's a good
dickheads. You get it?
excuse. Yeah.
No. But like they free willed themselves to be pricks and dickheads and corrupted. You know? Do you
Yeah,
get
but
it?
I wish.
They're like proper cunts for their own right.
But then, in my opinion, God is a bit of a dick as well.
Why?
Because he can intervene from time to time if he's there.
No man, he's sitting back watching you look like, wow, look at my children. They're disgusting.
Great.
More talking about politicians and institutions. Like, wow, look at you. You had all these choices and you decided to
Honestly.
continue to suppress people and be horrible. That's what I think anyway.
But I like religions more with loads of gods because I think, at least in my mind, that makes more sense. I don't know. I don't believe in anything,
Yeah.
but that makes more sense in some way because it's
Yeah.
like you're not putting like there's a few powerful gods, but there's not this like ultimate brother watching you, big brother's watching you.
Don't you think they'll be beefing all the time though?
Yeah, that's like Greek mythology is the best. Like they're just beefing with each other the whole time. And it
To
makes
be
them more
like,
human, you know? It makes them more like, I guess, like
yeah.
relatable.
Yeah. But then it's like inherently that would affect us, no? So isn't that more dangerous than just having one guy?
But that's a dictatorship.
That is true. But then, like, who's in charge of all the mini gods, the gods of the gods? Who is the god of the gods? Is it Zeus?
Zeus is in Greek mythology.
Yeah, I
But
know, but like,
then
I'm hypothetically.
if he does something wrong, the others call him out as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why would I want some guy who does lightning that doesn't even happen very often to be the god of the gods? Do you get it? I'd more want it to be like the god of air or some shit of
I
water.
mean, he is kind of like he has rights on anything that's above land.
Okay, I don't know.
But in my like I often say, oh, it happened for a reason. So in my mind, there's something like I think I'm more of a person that, oh, the universe made this happen for a reason than, oh God. You know what I mean?
Isn't that
Sometimes I'm
potentially the
like,
same thing though?
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like I think humans are just made to because
Inherently,
as you
do something.
because if you are just like everything I do and happens to me ultimately has no meaning because
That's really
like we're
sad, isn't
just a planet floating in space, it's hard not to get depressed. So sometimes just saying, oh, this was meant to happen to teach me something just helps close that chapter of life. Do you know what I mean?
So do you think every person who has a religious or spiritual attachment to them is just avoiding the inevitable of depression? Like of just being like there's nothingness and no
Yeah,
meaning to
like
anything.
loads of times. That's
Okay, cool.
the idea behind it.
Mm,
It makes, yeah, as I said, it gives more meaning to life and it makes sense out of life and it just shields us from the truth that we're literally just a rock floating in space and we're just on it,
yeah,
breathing and sleeping.
that's really sad, Julie.
I know. But when if you say, oh, this happened for a reason, universe made this happen, you already feel 10 times better.
Isn't that all just a bit narcissistic?
Narcissistic?
Just in a sense that we all have to provide a coping mechanism to
Oh.
life, just to think we're special. Like they're just a bit like, oh, you're a bit self-centered, no?
Yeah, but it's the same, like it's just an extension of in the past they thought everything was revolving around the earth because they thought we were the center of the universe when we're really not.
Oh my God. Wow. Sorry, full circle. Just having the whole moment of like,
I don't know, humans are just great at wanting to be more important
we
than
are the main character of our
we
story. So
probably end up being, but that's okay.
that's okay.
Yesterday I was talking with Craig and I was like, sometimes I think about how the universe is doesn't end and then I get really stressed out and I get really anxious thinking about it
Bye.
because it's infinite. The universe is infinite.
Mm.
So it just keeps going and that scares me. I'm like,
Yeah.
but it needs to end somewhere. And this is
Yeah.
why I think we live in a simulation because that helps.
Yeah, but like I'd refuse to be a sim, you know? Like
We're all living in the
something.
Matrix.
No, but like I refuse. I refuse to believe that's the case. Plus, people have near-death experiences all the time, and they actually see like
I
images of
know, that's
God.
so crazy. There's people that
Yeah.
were in comas that could hear. They had like an out of body experience. How crazy is that?
Yeah, my mum's been so sick one time. She fell asleep and she saw her grandma. She's never seen her grandma. She didn't have any pictures of her, nothing.
What?
Yeah, and then she woke up and like told my nan like, "Hey, there was this lady who was smiling at me at the bottom of my bed. Like, who was this lady?" Described her, and my nan was like, "That's my mum," because my nan's mum died when my nan was a baby,
Uh-huh.
little.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you, okay, this could be an extension of religion, but do you believe in ghosts then?
See, I rebuke all demons. Sorry, not demons. But like, no, I like. Okay, so if there was good ghosts, I accept you guys. But all the bad spirits, get away from me. I don't know. I've never had an experience personally where I can be like, yeah, I believe in that. I've
Sometimes
never.
I feel like there's like some forces of energy working on something
Probably.
because I've experienced some stuff like sometimes I don't have it here, but in Luxembourg in my bedroom. Okay,
Mm,
this is gonna sound so creepy. I don't know if it's like my anxiety,
yeah.
my depression, or like sometimes I feel like someone, a figure is standing over my bed and watching me.
Oh my god, that's creepy.
Yeah, but like obviously no one's there, but you have this, you know how you can feel if someone's looking at you?
Yeah,
Yeah, like that.
that's creepy. I'm
And
never
I never
coming
get that
there.
anywhere else, just in my room. So
Okay, I'm never coming to your room in Luxembourg. I'm just gonna put
no,
that.
I don't have it if someone else is in the room.
Okay.
It's just when I'm alone.
Maybe someone's protecting you.
My mom thinks that, but I'm like, no, it feels evil. Um,
Don't say that. That it will be evil. Don't
no,
say
me,
that.
my mom, and her boyfriend are convinced that there's ghosts or spirits in our house. So that's fun.
I mean, probably.
They
Maybe
think
they're
that
like a
it's good. They both of them think they're good spirits. I think it's not just good spirits.
there's
So
also an evil one. Maybe there's spirits beefing in your house, and there's like a good guy and a bad guy.
literally, all my friends, not all my friends, but the friends that were on my 13th birthday
Mm,
party, they can confirm that we were sitting on the table in the, like, there's like room between the living room and our kitchen. So on the table, like
yeah.
eating, and on the kitchen table, like we have an island. It's quite high.
Mm,
The plate was in like pushed into the island, so it wasn't on the edge.
mm.
And we were eating, and suddenly the plate, oh my god, the plate fell on the ground, and no one was in the
Oh,
kitchen.
that's
So we were all
freaky.
like, "It's a ghost."
Oh my
So
god. I would have cried. I would have left. I would left. I would have left. I
we
would
were
have
all just kind of
stayed.
laughing, but
No, see, there's a difference between no, there's no to bring race into it, but there's a difference between you guys and black people. Black people would have left. Black people would have said, "Bye, I'm out. I'm not dealing with that. I cannot." No.
so I
Oh
don't
my
know. There
god.
might be some forces of energy, some spirits, them like
Probably in this world, but I just never had that experience, and I do not want to experience that experience. All the good ones, sure, protect me. Love you guys, OGs. But all the bad ones, no, I don't
you believe
know.
in angels then? Because my mom believes in angels,
Yeah, I believe in
in like
angels.
guarding angels.
I believe the people you once loved are always watching over you.
Oh, like ancestors, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice. No, my mom thinks there's guardian angels, and she thinks she's so special that she has two.
Your mom's iconic.
Like me and her boyfriend were always like,
Who's the two?
"Why
Like,
do you get two and other people get one?" And she's like,
do
"I
they
just have two, I know." And I was like, "What the fuck? Why do I
does
only get
she
one?
know
What did
that?
I
Like,
do?"
does she know that? Like, does she have like an inkling that that's like someone in her past life or
Yeah, she's
something?
very spiritual. She's like into numerology and angels and stuff. And
That's why she has two.
I guess. Like
Yeah.
I'm just repulsing the energy. So they're like,
You're rejecting the opportunity to get
but
to know
actually
them.
numerology is kind of fun. Like it's like determining your life through your numbers, like when you were born, the exact time, your name you were given and stuff. It's kind of interesting.
That sounds like terminism, like you're gonna plan for your death, like you're speaking it
No,
into.
it's not that like it's not that specific. It's more like your numbers of your birthday and your birth time with and your name, they all send you on a path, more like, oh, you are like a leader role, or and then in you have different cycles of life and you have different objectives in that cycle of life, you know? It's not very specific. It has different categories, but it's not like super specific that it can tell you what's gonna happen every day, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
It's super interesting, but sometimes she gets a bit creepy about it because we talk about like me and Craig, for example, and then I don't know, I'll say something, oh, but Craig's not like that, blah blah blah, and she'll go, not yet. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Okay.
What do you know?
What do you mean by that? Psychic?
And
Weirdo.
she just gives me that look, and I'm like, what do I not know that you know? This is
Yeah,
scary.
that's weird. Um,
I don't believe it, but it's kind of fun, you know, like reading your
it's like a
horoscope.
horoscope, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. That's how I feel about astrology, but that's a whole different conversation.
Like I don't believe it, but it's also kind of entertaining.
Entertaining to know,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about astrology. It's just like it's there and it's a coinky dink, but
Coinkydink.
but
Yeah, you
it's
cannot tell me that everyone that's ever been born in the same time span as me is the same. Like,
I mean, but like no, that's because you have your moon and your Venus and your Mars
yeah,
and
but I mean the basic horoscope, the ones that just like
the basic of the basics of the basics.
the one that's in like the magazines.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, apparently I'm like a very straight Taurus. Like all my planets are mostly Taurus.
Oh,
A bit of Aries.
wait, I wanna give me one sec. I wanna look if we're compatible as friends.
When we are ish. Julie's a Libra, I'm a Taurus. I have a
I'm
lot of
wondering
Libra
if I know
friends.
anyone else that's a Taurus. May. I'm so bad at birthdays.
Do you know what? I have a lot of Sag people, Libras and Aquariuses. A little bit of Geminis, splash here and there.
I
Few Virgos.
have had the two guys. Well, Craig is Sagittarius, and another guy that I like was also Sagittarius. So I think that's what I'm
I,
attracted to.
I like Sag men too.
Oh my!
Dama's a Sagittarius.
Oh my god!
Yeah. My mum's a Sagittarius. Also get along with Capricorns as well. I
I
guess,
think I should make my mom send us the like her numerology chart on both of us, and that should
and we
be a
should
new.
read it for our next podcast.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
you have to send me your birthday, birth time, and your full name.
Okay, that's fine. Well, like my
Okay.
full middle names as well.
We are both, yeah, the full name with the middle
Okay,
name.
cool, cool.
We're
Okay,
both ruled by Venus.
nice.
That means that beauty, luxury, and harmony will be the foundation of that friendship. If that's not true, I don't know what is.
You think so? Beauty, luxury.
We both want to live a very, like, if we had the money, we'd be on like an island right now,
Yeah, okay.
like sipping
Beauty?
something,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
actually, yeah.
like
Okay.
I feel like Craig always says I'm high maintenance, and I always try to say no, but actually it's yes.
See, I'm not that high maintenance. I
No,
feel
but you
um,
are like the
am
true self. Like we just,
I think because I grew up poor, I don't know if I'm high maintenance or not. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you definitely could be though. Like if you know,
Maybe if I had the funds, then maybe I would be.
this is like internally we're luxurious people. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
Taurus is more highly attuned to physical representation of beauty, like colorful jewels, delicious food, and rich textures. Libra
Mm,
prefers ethereal types of art like writing, music, and poetry. Wow, they just said you were studying the wrong thing, Shania.
basically, basically.
This is funny because I'm interested in fashion and you're more into music than I am, I think.
I feel like that's a reverse of what the truth is.
Like I'm into writing and music, but I think you're more into
Yeah,
music. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm more into that than I am into like textures and foods and stuff.
Yeah, and
Whereas,
I'm more into cooking.
yeah,
I guess that's why we get along so well.
because we both like the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah.
love talking about their favorite artists. I think that's true.
Mm.
Taurus despairs of Libra's spendthrift ways, and Libra thinks Taurus is overly stubborn, but they never dream of levying insults at each other.
Okay,
I, yeah, you can be stubborn.
I know I'm stubborn.
What is spendthrift ways? I've never heard of that.
Neither do I. What is the sentence?
Taurus despairs of Libra's spendthrift ways.
Spend thrift ways.
So sometimes I'm like, you're studying English, but you don't know half the words. I
I
swear,
don't
Amara.
know, but you have an excuse.
I was
You're
spent with a person who spends money in extravagant, irresponsible way.
I feel like I'm more irresponsible than you are.
Like on food, I can spend a lot. And sometimes I
Same.
can spend a lot on clothes if I have a day, you know?
Yeah, me too. So I don't think I'd ever get mad at you about that.
You know who does? My
Yeah.
friend Georgia, she used to be so upset when I would come with a new pair of shoes. And then my friend Anissa would always be upset when I buy a new jacket. So I do have friends that are like, you need to stop. You have loads of those things.
See, I don't have friends like that. I have my boyfriends like that, and my mum's not like that. My brothers are like that. They're like, you bought something else again. And I'm like, okay, did I ask you? Did I ask you? Did I ask you?
Okay, so I'll get my mom to do that for us.
Yeah.
So we have it for 2 weeks. And everyone remember to wish Shania on the 1st of May for her birthday.
Oh my God,
I'll
snap.
say it
It's
again in
such a
two
long
weeks.
time.
I'll say it again in 2 weeks.
We didn't even get to talk about Lil Nas that much, but
Oh, I also want to say there was this one Republican
yeah.
guy that was like, "Oh my God, I love that song about cowboys and the horses and the on the road." But now I will never listen to it again. It's a shame.
On
And
the
I was like,
road.
"What the fuck?"
Okay, first of all, Lil Nas is not should not be the role model for your kids because your kids shouldn't be looking up to celebrities. One, two, he didn't ask for that. Three, you should be monitoring what your children listen to, not the artists themselves. Four, he didn't sell his soul to the devil, you freaking weirdos. You told gay people to go to hell, so that's exactly where he was going. Shut up. It's a metaphor, you dickheads. The fifth,
Go off, sis.
um, stop being uncomfortable for gay men being feminine and want to whine on people who they're attracted to. I see too many hetero people kiss all the time. I don't want to hear it.
Mm,
I see
mm.
literal people having dry sex on music videos. I don't want to hear about it. He humped himself. Let it go. If anything, he's showing autosexuality rather than homosexuality. Shut your mouth on it.
Go off.
And I think that's it. Well, summarize what else? Oh, and the shoe thing, it's not real. Get over it. If you want to buy them, buy them. If you don't, I don't think you can anyway. It's not that deep.
Facts
And
are
if
facts.
your kids love the devil, then that's more reflection on you than it is on anybody else.
Sis snapped.
Deuces.
Wig
Mic
snatched.
drop.
Mic dropped.
All of that. Yeah.
I
What
don't
should
know.
what should we get people saying? Go to hell. Go
Bye. See you all in hell.
Love you guys. I'm going to heaven. Bye.